Alright, what's happening, y'all? It's your boy Rico from Street Scores coming with a couple of updates today. Most notably, our kicker, our starting kicker, and he looked like he was destined to be our franchise kicker, Joey Slye, is out for a minimum of 3 weeks. And Washington football team went and signed kicker Brian Johnson. We're going to break all of that down, of course, and I also want to take a look at some very interesting and crazy snap counts from that Monday Night Football win against the Seahawks last night, because you'll be pretty surprised to see how much and how little some guys played. This kicker carousel just keeps on moving. Got rid of 2 of them because they weren't producing. One of them wanted to keep kicking in the back of offensive linemen. Then we finally find a good one, and he gets hurt while trying to run down a defensive lineman after his kick was blocked. And he was perfect up to that point. I mean, it's just so chaotic. We go through things that no other team has to deal with, man. The fact that we're putting together wins, won a 3-game win streak with a chance to still go to the playoffs. We are currently the 7th seed in the NFC, and we're missing first-round picks. We're technically on our backup quarterback, even though Taylor Heineke should be starting over Ryan Fitzpatrick anyway. But our offensive line has been one of the most injured offensive lines in the NFL. We've easily had at least top 3 offensive line combinations as far as guys coming back, guys having to go from guard to center, guys going from backup tackle to starting tackle, back to backup tackle, back to starting tackle. We're on our 3rd center. I mean, it's crazy. But before we dive into all of that, make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit the bell next to the subscription button so you get a notification immediately. And every time I release an informative and opinionated video just like this one, as always, make sure you check out the rest of the channel. I just put out my full game review. I go position by position, so check that out for the Seahawks victory. And as always, man, I appreciate y'all. Let's get it. Alright, so first of all, like I already told y'all, Joey Slye is out for a minimum of 3 weeks according to Ron Rivera. He suffered a hamstring injury, again trying to run down that defensive lineman that ended up returning that kick for 2 points for the Seahawks. That was a 3-point swing. That was crazy. And that whole game was just chaotic because of the fact that we didn't have a kicker. Tressway was having to do kickoffs, and we refused to do a field goal or a PAT. We were having to go for 2-point conversions. We could have been put that game away. We could have easily have just kicked the field goal if we had Joey Slye to go up more than 1 possession against the Seahawks late, but we couldn't do that because we didn't have a kicker that could do it. I mean, there was all types of confusion as to, like, I think Kyle Allen was our backup because Tressway is normally your starting placeholder while Joey Slye is your kicker. But with Tressway moving from placeholder to kicker, you would have Kyle Allen, our backup quarterback, is now the backup and technically your starting placeholder. And Kyle Allen didn't even know whether or not Tressway was a left-legged kicker or a right-legged. And so there's just too many chemistry issues right there. I mean, we were worried about keeping everything the same with Tressway as our placeholder, Dustin Hopkins is our starting kicker, and just introducing rookie Cameron Cheeseman to the mix. Now imagine rookie Cameron Cheeseman, who's been doing a very good job, and then you have a new placeholder, and now your punter's your kicker, and he kicks left-legged. Oh, it was just, that's why we were like, we're not kicking no matter what. 4th and 6, we're going for it. 2-point conversion, whatever, we're going for it. I mean, the fact that our coaches had to coach themselves out of those situations and still come out with the win is crazy in itself. But man, get well soon, Joey Slye, because he definitely looks like a potential franchise kicker. And it's not even like he's injury prone. First of all, he's one of the swollest kickers of all time. He's built like Ed Hockley, probably bench presses the most any kicker's ever bench pressed in NFL history, at least the way he looks. So it's not like he's just some super flimsy injury prone guy, but he just, I mean, he was working really hard trying to track down that defensive lineman. He never even got close, but he hurt his hamstring on that play. I wish he would have just gave up and let it happen because they scored anyway, and we wouldn't be in this situation. But man, get well soon, Joey Slye, because we definitely need you. And then Rivera, even though he provided an update for Joey Slye, he did not provide an update for J.D. McKissic and Wes Schweitzer yet. So hopefully we'll get those updates soon. But the fact that we're not even talking about Curtis Samuel and Logan Thomas lets you know that they made it out really healthy, and we should be good to go. If anything, they're only getting healthier. And I'm glad to see Logan Thomas heavily involved, and Curtis Samuel, you know, baby steps. but at least there's no setbacks and injuries for those two. Again, like I said in my game review, like I said in my post-game live stream where y'all call in and y'all voice y'all opinions on the game, we did it immediately after the game ended, so make sure you go check that stream out as well. But I already updated y'all. The agent said that he's all okay, and Logan Thomas even said to reporters that J.D. McKissic has just been walking around in the locker room chilling, smiling, celebrating like nothing's happened. So maybe he's in concussion protocol, but it definitely looks like worst case scenario he misses this Raiders game. It doesn't seem like it's going to be anything long term. They reported it as a neck injury, but again, everybody's saying he looks fine. I mean, even when he got on the cart, after he was kind of straight, he got himself on the cart. He moved his legs and everything and took his helmet off. He looked like he was just chilling going to the back, but we'll see. But now with Joey Slye out for, again, at least a minimum of 3 weeks, there's only 6 games left in the season, so we'll see how that situation goes. And this is going to be crazy because we went and signed Brian Johnson, and he's going to be our starting kicker in this very important playoff race. Again, we have the Raiders, and then we have the Cowboys, Eagles, Giants, and we're going to need our field goal kicker in these games. These are going to be some pretty close games, I'm sure of it. And man, we're gonna have to depend on this guy. So hopefully he's good, man. We signed him off of Chicago's practice squad. They've been holding on to him. And just a little backstory, of course, Washington loves Carolina guys. They always bring them over from the Panthers, coaching staff, front office players, and everything. But they also have shown a lot of love to local guys. And Brian Johnson went to Gonzaga High School in DC, and he kicked for Virginia Tech. So it makes a lot of sense why they brought him in here. They love to go local if they can. If there's no clear-cut answer on who we should get at any position, they when in doubt go with the local guy, especially if everybody's just fairly similar in talent. And it's funny too, it's very interesting to hear that Ron Rivera talked about how he told his personnel people at halftime to start looking for kickers. At halftime, he already sent some people on a mission to go find their next kicker, and so they did their homework and found Brian Johnson. And I mean, out of all of the guys we've kicked so far this season, he's not the best, of course. Again, Joey Slye was a great signing. I was happy when we got him, and then he was perfect until that block kick. But Brian Johnson doesn't look too bad. He was signed to Chicago as an undrafted free agent in May, so this is his first season in the NFL. And then he was added to the Saints active roster in October. He played 4 games with them. He went 8 for 8 with field goals, with the 52-yarder as his longest, and he went 5 of 8 for PATs, which scares me a little. And then he was cut November 19th, and then Chicago Bears brought him back to the practice squad, and then we just took him off of the practice squad. So basically, they signed him as an undrafted free agent in May, had him on the practice squad. Saints took him off of the practice squad, let him play for 4 games, released him. Chicago Bears took him back, put him on their practice squad, and we came and snatched him again. So I'm pretty sure Chicago is tired of everybody taking them from him. But hey, that's your fault for not elevating them or at least protecting them. You can protect like 4 players a week on your practice squad. They're choosing not to protect them, so teams are going to keep trying him out. Hopefully he lands here and he ends up being really good for us on a run, because that can make things interesting. I mean, depending on how good he looks, maybe it's a competition between him and Joe Slye moving forward. We'll see. Hopefully he's that good. I hope that's a good problem that we have in the future. I prefer that over, man, we can't wait till Joey Slye gets back, man. This guy's out here missing kicks, you know what I'm saying? That's a good problem to have where you can't decide which kicker you prefer to keep. We went from having 0 kickers to 2. I'll take that. Now some very interesting snap counts. First of all, on offense, Logan Thomas came back from being out for a few weeks and played in 79% of snaps. And remember, our offense had 84 snaps. So this 79% of snaps is different from any other weeks because we had 84 offensive snaps. I'm almost sure that's leading the NFL this season, or at least top 3 as far as games go. And the fact that Logan Thomas played in 66 of them, I mean, think about it. The Seahawks played 47 offensive snaps. Logan Thomas himself played 66. So even though when you look at the percentages, he only played 79%, remember that was 66 snaps. And Curtis Samuel played 20 snaps. He only got the ball like once or twice. And I like the fact that he lowered his shoulder and gained some extra yards. So that showed that he does feel a little bit more comfortable and confident with his groin situation. But he played 20 snaps, y'all. 24% of snaps. That's really good. That's better than what I thought it would be. I thought he was going to be held to like 12 to 15. It's also interesting that Gibson played on 57 snaps and J.D. McKissic played on 33 before he got hurt. And then Terry McLaurin played in 76, 90%. Terry McLaurin led all players that weren't offensive linemen, because of course your offensive linemen are going to play the most snaps, even though Wes Schweitzer, who was our backup guard, but then became our 3rd starting center of the season, got hurt. So then we had to go out there with Keith Ishmael as our starting center for the remainder of the game. He ended up playing 54 snaps, 64% of them. But other than that, of course, Charles Charles Leno, Cornelius Lucas, Eric Flowers, and Brandon Scherf. Offensive linemen, when healthy, are going to play 100% of the snaps every time. But outside of them, Terry McLaurin played the most with 90%. Logan Thomas played the second most with 79%. And DeAndre Carter played 73%. And Antonio Gibson, 68%. And John Bass was out there for 57% of snaps. That's interesting as well. And then defense, again, the offense was on the field so long and chewing up so much clock, they only played 47 defensive snaps, and 100 guys played every snap. Cornerback William Jackson and Kendall Fuller, free safety Cameron Curl, linebacker Cole Holcomb, and free safety Bobby McCain, even though they have them listed as corner. And honestly, Cameron Curl is a strong safety, but whatever. They played all 47 snaps. Then Landon Collins played 40 snaps, 85%. Jonathan Allen, James Smith-Williams, and Casey Toohill were all in the 70%. And then you had Deron Payne, 66%. And then it didn't feel like it, but Jamin Davis was right behind Deron Payne. Deron Payne played 31 snaps against 66%. Jamin Davis played 24 snaps, 51%. So he was out there half of the game. It didn't necessarily feel like it, but he was. But most notably from this is the fact that rookie cornerback Benjamin St-Juste has had 0 snaps since week 8. He was inactive versus Tampa Bay, of course, but he didn't play at all against the Seahawks, and I'm confused as to why. Yeah, our defense has been playing very well the past few weeks since he hasn't played, but when he was playing, he looked like our best corner, at least the most consistent. So I don't know, it's a very weird situation. We're definitely going to have to dive into that. I know he's been dealing with concussion problems. Hopefully he's okay. Hopefully it's not an injury thing. Maybe it's just a rotation thing. I don't know, because again, before he got hurt with the concussion, before the bye week, he was our most consistent corner easily, making good plays on the ball and everything, but now he doesn't play. So that's definitely something I'm gonna keep my eye on going forward. But yeah, man, that's the end of this video. Please get in the comment section, let me know how you feel about everything discussed in this video. Please like this video if you liked it, if you learned anything. How do you feel about Brian Johnson? He's a local product. Does that help the situation? Do you think he's gonna end up going out there and helping us win games? So definitely let me know all of that. And as always, man, I appreciate all of the support, man. Shouts out to everybody that pulled up to the streams and donated. Shouts out to everybody wishing me a happy birthday. I really appreciate y'all. And of course, a special shouts out to all of my sponsors, especially my Pro Bowl sponsors, whose name you see scrolling on the screen right now. Man, I really appreciate y'all. Catch y'all later. I'm out.